In today's video, I tell you the story of football in Bangladesh. I am supported by the captain of the national team, Jamal Bhuyan. Look forward to a country of more than 150 million people, a capital city that is one of the fastest growing megacities in the world, and the big dream of football's resurgence. Bangladesh, located between India and Myanmar, is the country with the 8th largest population in the world. About 165 million people live here, but in terms of area, it is only ranked 92nd in the world. Logically, therefore, there must also be conurbitations where very many people live together. One such is the capital Dhaka, with more than 21 million inhabitants, which is very centrally located. Bangladesh has been independent since 1971, when it split it up from Pakistan, having previously been part of British India. After this little glimpse into history, let's now dive into the real story: football in Bangladesh. Bangladesh not only loves football, the most popular sport is cricket. The country is also one of the best in the world in this sport, and is currently ranked 9th in the world. The football national team cannot compete with this. Its best ranking was 110th in April 1996. They are currently ranked 192nd, which is at the bottom of the rankings. Before independence, football was characterized by a rivalry between Kolkata and Dhaka. The Dhaka team at that time was formed by students of the university, and also managed to create a stir in 1937. When Ellington Corinthian, a British team consisting of professional and amateur players, traveled to the subcontinent for some matches, they also played in Dhaka. After winning, or at least drawing, all their other matches, they then met a group of amateurs who were to beat them soundly. It was Pakistan who scored the winning goal for the Dhaka 11. The British opponents also paid great respect to the team after the match. In general, one can say that Dhaka played a big role in football. There was also the Dhaka Football League since 1948, in which some legendary teams from Dhaka played. For a long time, the country was still under British or Pakistani control, but the league withstood all changes and remained the country's top league until 2006. Before we talk about the league today, we need to look at the role of football in the freedom struggle until independence. In July 1971, the unknown national team of what was then East Pakistan played a local match in India. Right before the match started, the captain unfurled a green flag with a red dot in the center. This flag, now the official one of Bangladesh, was placed next to that of India to the applause of the spectators. With this, the team made history, because for the first time the flag was hoisted on foreign soil, although the country was not yet recognized and was in the process of a liberation war. To this day, it is a great moment in the country's history. The footballers were first and foremost rebels for their own cause. Again and again, I come across stories like this on my journey. Each time, proof of how strong the influence and radiance of football is all over the world. But now, let's talk about actual club football. The Bangladesh Premier League is the highest league, and how it is performing is explained to you by my video partner today, Jamal Bhuyan. With not many games left, Jamal will become the country's record player. He has been wearing the national team jersey since 2013 and has also been its captain for the past few years. The 32-year-old played for the best clubs in his native Denmark in his youth, and his senior career also began there. In 2014, he returned to his parents' homeland to play for Sheikh Jamal Dhanmondi. Last year, he went on loan to India in the I-League, but he is currently playing for Sheikh Rusel KC in the Bangladesh Premier League.
The league is going every year, so that is good. It's a professional league where there is a good amount of teams who are always competing for the championship. Of course, there's a few teams who has more money than the other ones, but overall it's a good league, and better foreigners are also coming to the league. So I think overall it's very good. There's a lot of team who has big ambitions in the local league who wants to play in the AFC Champions League, of course, and in the EFC. And I think within 5 years you will see a Bengali team really compete in the AFC Cup, because they have the facilities to do that.
As Jamal describes, there are some teams that start with big ambitions. In recent years, it was Bashunda Kings in particular who were able to play themselves into the spotlight with 3 titles in a row. But other teams, like Abahani Limited Dhaka or SAFF SC, are also among the strongest teams in the country. In international comparison, the Bangladesh teams have not yet achieved too much. Currently, they do not have a starting place for the AFC Champions League qualifying round, but only for the AFC Cup. The last time a Bangladesh team participated in the main Asian club competition was in the 2001-2002 season in the predecessor of the Champions League, the Asian Club Championship. Mukti Jodha Sangsat KC made it to the round of 16 but lost heavily to Anyang LG Cheetahs of South Korea. However, there is not much positive to report from this year's AFC Cup either, with Abahani Limited Dhaka losing out to ATK Mohun Bagan in the playoff round. At least better than last year when Abahani withdrew already in the preliminary round because of COVID. With never more than the group stage coming out as the best result in previous years either, it must be clearly said that Bangladesh still have a long way to go to keep up with their Indian neighbors or other teams from Southeast Asia. In contrast, it's not that hard to look for success in the national team's history, so let's start right there. The first international match after independence was in 1973 in Malaysia against Thailand. A year earlier, the Bangladesh Football Federation was formed and became a member of the AFC in 1974 and FIFA in 1976. In 1980, they managed to qualify for the AFC Asian Cup in a group with Qatar and Afghanistan, their only participation to date. The tournament was then held in Kuwait and the team suffered 4 defeats in 4 matches. Nevertheless, it was a great success for the young country. They then took part in a World Cup qualifier for the first time in 1985 for the tournament in Mexico a year later. However, they finished last in the group with Indonesia, India and Thailand. If we look at the qualification for the tournament in Qatar, which is about to start, they at least managed to win narrowly against Laos in the first round. After that, however, they had no chance in the second round and also missed out on qualifying for the AFC Asian Cup 2023, which is also to be played in Qatar. So let's look at the smaller local tournaments like the SAFF Championship. After all, that's where you meet neighboring countries. They first started in Sri Lanka in 1995 and were even allowed to host the tournament in 2003. This tournament is still the national team's greatest success, as they won the title. Already in the group stage, the team showed a solid performance and won all 3 matches. In the semi-finals, India was waiting for them and they beat them in extra time thanks to a golden goal by Muthiur Rahman Munna. So now it was the big final at Bangabandhu Stadium in Dhaka in front of 46,000 spectators. It was against the Maldives and it was an even game. After 120 minutes and a score of 1-1, it went into penalty shootout. Mohamed Zujan made history with his decisive 5th penalty, giving Bangladesh their greatest football moment. However, no repeat followed. Even when the 2018 tournament was held in Dhaka again, the team was eliminated in the group stage. Jamal and his colleagues will have their next chance next year. It's time for a departure in the national team.
The national team, of course, we are a bit down on the rankings, but everybody has big ambitions, big dreams, and we want to be higher. And I think with a better league, it will come. And the big ambition is for Bangladesh to go forward in the rankings. It's everybody's dream.
Bangladesh, the sleeping giant, needs to be woken up. The country has such a deep boundary with football. History has shown that. Now it's time to build on old successes and reach for the stars under captain Jamal Bhuyan. As always, it was incredibly fascinating and exciting to tell the story of Bangladesh football. If you enjoyed it, join our travel group and subscribe to this channel. I look forward to taking you back to Africa in the next video. See you then.